I'm sitting here, I've decided that like for Christmas, I think I need to buy myself like an actual computer monitor, because right now all I have to be able to tell if I'm in frame or not is the viewfinder on my camera, which is like this big, and I am freaking blind without any glasses on, so I just look like a blurry mess over there. So if I got like a crazy flyaway hair or like some crazy whatever in my video that's driving you nuts, I can't see it is the problem, because I'm very, very far away. Just an FYI. So hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we are here to talk about my monthly favorites for October. I feel like this has been another great month for beauty. I have a few things that I've been completely obsessed with, and if you've been following my channel or my blog, I bet you can probably guess at least one of them. No shame here. No shame, we hide nothing. So I will say before I get into my favorites that I just want to say thank you to everybody who newly subscribed to my channel. I hit 500 subscribers this month, which is amazing, and I did do a giveaway. It ends tomorrow, actually, October 31st, so if you haven't entered yet and you're watching this video before midnight on the 31st, definitely go and enter. But since I started the giveaway, I'm already up past 700 subscribers, which is totally nuts. I'm so excited. So if you are a new subscriber, welcome. I'm so happy to have you, and I hope you enjoy my videos. So, thank yous being said, let's get into the favorites from this month. So the first thing I want to talk about is a hair favorite, and I actually just recently wrote a post about this brand. I will link it for you guys down below in case you'd like to check it out. And it is the Eva NYC Freshen Up Dry Shampoo. I got sent a couple things from Eva NYC. I had connected with the brand when I was at Gen Beauty last month, and I am kind of obsessed with this stuff. It smells super, super amazing, and it does a really great job of refreshing your hair without making it like really gritty and or leaving a white cast like the way that a lot of other dry shampoos do. Just as a little FYI, if you are a fan of the Amika Perk Up Dry Shampoo, this is essentially identical to that product. Like, it smells the same, it has the same ingredients, and it is like almost $10 cheaper, just saying. So if you are in the market for a new dry shampoo, I highly recommend checking this one out. You can get it at Ulta or you can get it at evanyc.com. So yeah, I will link it for you guys down below. Check it out. So I also reviewed a limited edition brush set that's an Ulta exclusive from IT Cosmetics, and it is the All That Glitter set. This is 2 of the brushes from it that I have been using kind of nonstop this month. These brushes are so freaking soft, like they're unreal. They are cruelty-free, so you don't have to worry about hurting any little animals in making up your beautiful makeup brushes. And these ones have these amazingly silver sparkly handles that is just super festive for this time of year and really glamorous, and they look beautiful sitting on your vanity. So I will link for you guys down below my full review if you'd like to see pictures of all the brushes in this set and my thoughts on them. But yes, these are amazing if you are looking for something to pick up for a beauty lover in your life. They would probably be very excited to see these makeup brushes wrapped up for them. So in the last month, I've also gotten to try my first couple of Luxie brushes. Luxie is one of those brands I've heard a lot about, but I've never actually gotten a chance to try. But from Gen Beauty, I did get to take a couple brushes home, and I really, really enjoy them a lot. They are kind of pricey for what they are, but the quality is really nice. So if you want to splurge a little, I definitely would recommend checking them out as a brand. The 2 brushes that I've been really into are this tapered highlighting brush, which I've been using a ton for applying my highlights. It's just a really nice, soft brush. It has kind of a like a tapered edge, but then it's fluffy at the top, so it allows you to kind of like blend your highlight out and like keep it precise, but still diffuse it so you don't just get like highlight stripe up on your face, if you know what I mean. And then the other one that I really like is this small tapered blending brush. This is like a teeny tiny little crease brush, and I love how precise it is, because a lot of times, like especially if you want to like deepen up the outer corner and like blend the color into your crease a little bit, if you're using like a bigger brush, the color can kind of get like maybe too far into the crease or can start to look like too intense and go crazy. So I really like that this lets me blend, but in a very precise way. So it's beautiful, definitely something that has been upping my eyeshadow game lately, so really happy to have these two brushes. So speaking of eyeshadow, we might as well just talk about the elephant in the room, the Kat Von D Metal Matte palette. I am obsessed with this palette. And it's funny because I've heard a variety of people say that there's very mixed reviews on this palette, and it's sort of like I don't understand how you could not like this palette. Some people say that the shades are patchy or they don't swatch really well. I did a full review on this product also that I will also link for you guys and show you swatches of all the shades in this palette, but I've had no problems with it at all. Let's just take a minute to appreciate how freaking beautiful this rainbow of majesty is. So in this palette you get 13 matte eyeshadows and 9 Metal Crush eyeshadows, and it basically like has every color you could want, but the colors themselves are ever so slightly muted. They're not like bright neon colors, so even though it is a very colorful palette, it's really, really wearable. And you do have some neutral shades, so you can kind of like still make a neutral look with like this half of the palette and then add in a fun pop of color if you like. I used this palette to do my Halloween tutorial when I was a fairy this year, so I don't know, I just think that this is awesome. I think the shadows are great. I've had no problems working with them, and I love how like many options I have to play with. It's so much fun. It's also an amazing value. It's $60, which is a lot for a palette, and I get that. But number one, it's massive. And you get so much product in here in terms of like the number of shadows and the price per ounce of shadow that you're buying. It is so much a better value than a Naked palette or pretty much any other high-end palette that's on the market right now. So if you aren't afraid of playing with color or you want to experiment, I would highly recommend checking this out. It's limited edition, so it will only be here for a little while, and once it's gone, I'm guessing it will probably be gone. So don't miss out. So this month I bought a full size of a product that I've talked about in my favorites before, but I've never owned in full size, and that's the Too Faced Hangover RX Primer. I had 5 times points at Ulta for Too Faced, so I was like, I wanted this forever and I couldn't resist buying it. This is basically just a hydrating primer. It smells like coconuts. It is glorious. It feels super refreshing on your skin, and it is not greasy or heavy. So I typically have oily to combination skin, but in this time of year when it starts to get cooler, I tend to get like drier around my cheeks and then get oily throughout the day around my T-zone. So I'll still have like dry patches. I don't know, my skin is a hot mess most of the time. So I really like applying this primer before I do my foundation because I find that my foundation will just glide right on top of it. It will cling to any of the dryness that I may have, but it doesn't leave me feeling really oily or greasy because it's very lightweight at the end of the day. So if you're looking for a hydrating primer and you don't mind spending a little bit of cash money because it is kind of expensive, this one is bomb. So speaking of foundation, the foundation I've been using pretty much constantly lately is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte in the shade 104 Golden Beige. I've talked about this for years. This has definitely been in my favorites before. This is an amazing foundation if you are someone who tends to lean more towards the oily to combination side of things. It does have a nice, like a natural matte finish to it. It's matte, but it doesn't make you look flat and cakey. They call it a demi matte. The one thing I do notice about this though is it can cling to dry patches. So that's another reason why I've been going for a hydrating primer underneath this, even though I do want a matte finish. I don't want it to like bunch up or like look dry on certain areas of my face. And another thing I've been really enjoying doing is mixing in a drop of these Cover FX Custom Infusion drops. These are the Radiance version. So I'll add just like a drop of this to this foundation and it goes on like a freaking dream. So this is a relatively thick foundation, so adding just a little bit of an oil to it makes it glide on even more smoothly, and I notice that the finish still is a kind of matte, but it does make it a little bit more natural looking. So if you're somebody who has maybe normal skin or even dry, but you want a matte finish foundation, and you're kind of curious to try this, but you're afraid it might be too drying or too matte, Try adding in a drop of an oil. Like this one's awesome, but it's really expensive. So if you have another beauty oil on hand, I'm sure it would work just as well. Add a drop into the foundation and you will notice it just makes it go on so much more nicely. It applies really evenly and it will be just a little less thick, so it's kind of easier to work with. So most days when I'm getting ready, I am kind of just like slapping products on with my hands. I'm like not even fussing with brushes. I'm wearing like BB cream, mascara, a little brow gel, out the door kind of a thing. So a product that I've been really into is this Jouer lip and cheek tint, because this is the kind of thing that you can literally just throw on with your fingers in 2 seconds and blend in, and it looks beautiful. This is the shade Amaryllis, which is sort of like a corally red shade. It looks way more intimidating in the pan than it actually is on your skin. It shears out really nice. I will swatch a little bit for you guys so you can see what it looks like. But it just blends out to this really beautiful flush on your cheeks. You can also wear it on your lips, and it's creamy, but it's not like too sticky or dewy, so it does work really well on both lips and cheeks, I find. But yeah, I really enjoy this. This particular shade is on sale because I think they're discontinuing it, so you can get it for $11. I think normally the lip and cheek tints retail for $22, so if you want to check this one out before it disappears, I really do like the shade, but the ones that they are keeping around that are permanent are also nice. So yeah, if you're looking for like a cream blush, something quick and easy on the go, I recommend checking this out. So I had to mention these liquid lipsticks. It's actually one of them is what I'm wearing on my lips right now. This is the Ofra Long Lasting Liquid Lipstick in the shade Solano. I got 2 Ofra liquid lipsticks at Gen Beauty. I also got the shade Pasadena, which is sort of this like really nice nude color. And I have been using these a lot lately because these are both like just gorgeous fall nudes, I feel like. And I really like this formula. It smells sweet and sort of cupcakey. It's very comfortable and very light, so it goes on really smoothly, very opaque. It dries down completely matte, but it doesn't leave your lips feeling like powdery or like crackly. It doesn't like flake off. It's just a really nice, smooth, comfortable formula. Super long wearing, and like it does not really transfer once it dries down. So I know bloggers all over YouTube rave about this formula. Kathleen Lights has collabed with Ofra and come out with her own shades, which I have on my wish list of things to buy. So I'm glad I finally got to try such like a cult beauty favorite product, and I'm happy to report back that I also agree with everybody else in the world that these are awesome. So funny story, I discovered these products when I was shopping at the drugstore, and the display said new, but I'm pretty sure these are not remotely new. You notice how sometimes like the display doesn't change in like 3 years, and maybe 3 years ago this was a new product and now it still says new, but it's been here for a while. So I think that's what happened with these, but I had never seen them before, so to me it was totally new, and I felt like it was so on trend for this fall because everything glitter and metallic is really in right now. And these are the Revlon PhotoReady Eye Art Lid, Lash, and Line Duos. So what they are is a cream shadow and a glitter liner in one, and they are in coordinating shades. I think there's like 10 maybe different color options out there, and these are so much fun. So you have the cream shadow, which is really nice. This one is in the shade, what are you? Topaz Twinkle. This is like the taupey one. So you have a cream shadow, which has a really nice like wet metallic finish. The cream shadows on these are really nice. They do like blend out really easily, but once they set, they do not budge. They're very long wearing, which I really like. And on the other side, you have a glitter liner. So you can either like actually do it as a liner, or you can use this to like basically brush the glitter all over your lid. You can kind of build it up if you want like a really intense sparkle on your eyes. It's just a lot of fun. The only thing I will say is the glitter in this, I think might have an alcohol base or something. So if you like really pack it on and it's really wet, it can kind of be irritating until it completely dries down. So if you have very sensitive eyes, I would be mindful of that if you're interested in picking up this product. I would say kind of like less is more. Let it dry and then see if you need to add on another layer instead of just like slopping it all over your face, because then it might kind of turn into a bad situation for you. So yeah, really like these. They are definitely like a nice affordable option at the drugstore. I've seen like the Touch and Soul, I think, duos are similar to these, but like twice as expensive. So if you want to like get your metallic glitter eye on for fall and don't want to spend a whole ton of money, I would check these ones out. So I have just a couple last little things here. The first one is a nail polish. This is the Smith & Cult nail lacquer in the shade Dark Like Me. Is this not like the perfect sort of like vampy dark plum shade? Like, am I right? And also, Smith & Cult make the most beautiful nail polish bottles in the history of nail polish. Like, this is bourgeois right here. I love it. This cap does come off, so like you're not gonna paint with this like huge gold piece here. You're gonna paint with this small brush. But I like that it is a pretty nice and like wide bristled brush, so it's very easy to get your whole nail in just a couple strokes. I cannot stand the brushes on Essie nail polishes. I love the colors, the formula is not bad, but the brush drives me nuts because it's so thin that like I have pretty large nail beds. Painting my nails with that polish is like, it always ends up streaky and it drives me nuts. But I never have that problem with this type of polish. The formula is really glossy, it resists chips for, you know, several days. It's just a very beautiful luxury nail polish. These retail, I think, for like $18, so it is not cheap. I know that. But if you think like, if you're gonna spend $12 getting your nails painted at a salon, why not spend $18 and then for the next 6 months you can paint your nails yourself with like a beautiful polish that will also look like a piece of art on your vanity. So the last thing I have here is a fragrance, and this is a purchase that I totally made because of Kathleen Lights. She was talking about this after Gen Beauty and how she said she was wearing it there, and everybody kept complimenting her on how amazing she smelled. So I kind of had to check it out the next time I was at Sephora, and I sprayed it on myself and immediately was like, I need to own this perfume. And I am pretty picky when it comes to fragrances. I don't buy them very frequently for myself. So the fact that I could not leave Sephora without at least the Rollerball is saying something. This is the Elizabeth and James Nirvana Bourbon fragrance, and it smells so good. I just like want to inhale it all day long. Now this is a very warm, sexy, amber type of fragrance. So it's got some sweetness, but it definitely is very, very rich and a little bit heavier. So if you like very, very light, floral, fresh fragrances, this is like the complete and total opposite of that. But I think that it's perfect for this type of year where you're like wanting to be very cozy and wearing sweaters and curling up by the fire. Like, it just is, I don't know, it just has that sort of like yummy, slightly smoky quality to it that is sort of like a very attractive man, but is also feminine, if that makes sense. So I don't know, you have to go to Sephora and check it out. You have to smell it for yourself. I think that it's awesome. I really like this. The only thing that I don't like, I wish for a travel size fragrance this was this, like a purse spray instead of a roller ball, because I freaking hate roller balls. Like, well, hate's a strong word. Maybe we shouldn't say hate. I prefer to spray on my fragrance because I feel like then it kind of like permeates your clothes and it just lasts longer. A roller ball, you apply to your pulse points, and I feel like maybe other people can smell it on me, but I don't smell it on myself as much when I have a roller ball versus when I'm spraying it and I know that's on my clothes. So like, part of wearing a fragrance is being able to enjoy the scent of it. So I feel like with this, like, I notice it when I first apply it, and I may or may not catch a whiff of it throughout the day, but I notice it more like when I sprayed it on myself from the bottle in the store. Like, I smelled it on myself for the entire rest of the day, and I don't notice that effect as much with the roller ball. So it's good if you want to try it without having to spend as much money. I just wish, like some other fragrance makers make purse sprays, I wish that it was a spray, because then I would be more happy when I was using it. So that is it. Those are all of my favorites from this month. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. I always really appreciate your support. And if you're new to my channel, make sure you click that little subscribe button down below. Or now that we have these like cool little end card things, maybe I'll insert my face right here. You can click on my face and you can subscribe to my channel. I love to have you. Stick around. And if you are enjoying my makeup look in this video, I actually filmed a tutorial of it this morning. It will be going live on my channel on Thursday, so make sure that you stick around to check that out. So I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your week, and I will see you in Thursday's video.